that you can make a decision for yourself and for your family of friends to bless them with what, again, we believe to be my number.
Entry and exit chimes are off.
Sort of little baby big bucks program on this planet. Now, before I turn the call over to Peter to do the presentation, I'd like to mention one thing. I look at 4 different things when it comes to entertaining, getting involved in a home-based business. All of them are very important. Number 1, who's the company behind it? Well, here, as Peter will explain, Multiplex Systems Incorporated is nearly 12 years old, debt-free, U.S.-based corporation. Number 2, the products and services. Well, just a tremendous educational product line is available on demand, 24/7, kind of like the video professor on steroids. That's the product line, delivered instantly, available instantly upon registration. Number 3, the compensation plan. It doesn't get any better than this, folks. Break even on your first referral, and Peter will go into that further over in the call. And number 4, what has made Multiplex such a strong entity in the home-based industry is just this: tools, marketing tools and systems that can be used to build any business. More importantly, they can be used to build Infinity Downline. So we have all of the components necessary for you to have a solid ground to kind of claim the passion and go forward and make a difference in your life financially, in the lives of those around you. So without any further ado, Peter, have you joined the call yet, sir?
I sure have, George. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, we're going to start something a little bit different today, and before I mute out the whole call, I just want everybody to hear the kind of volume of people we're getting to join this program. If I can have everybody hit *6 on their phone to unmute your line. Please unmute your line. All right, fantastic. All right, now on the count of 3, what I want everybody to do is just to mention your name and where you're calling from, okay? Your name and where you're calling from on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow, all right, incredible. All right, everybody, just hit *6 on your phone again, and I'm going to mute out the line, and we'll get started, just to let everybody know what's going on here.
All callers are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
All right, folks, today is a special day in Infinity Downline. We just hit 90,000 members. 90,000 members on a global basis everywhere, and that is just a drop in the bucket of where we plan on being. We plan on hitting 100,000 people very soon and into 200,000 people soon after that. So it is an incredible program. It's not a point at which we think, well, we think this is going to work. We already know it's going to work, because look at all the people coming in. You have also the stability of a company that's been around for a long time, and that's one of the biggest things anybody really should look at when they're looking at starting or jumping into a program, and who's behind it. You know, what company is behind it? Did they just jump into network marketing? Or is it just someone that thought they might be successful at it? Well, you want to get involved with a company, primarily, if you can, is to get involved with a company that knows what they're doing. We have our pulse on the industry. We are really a company that specializes in tools to help anybody in any network marketing, online, offline, or any other kind of marketing company, so that this way you guys can accelerate the process by which you can do better in your business, be able to do it more effectively, to be able to compress time, as I call it, to be able to squeeze every little time out of your day, so this way you can generate more leads, more traffic, and be able to speak to more people more cost effectively. And we've been doing that for almost 12 years. We have almost 200,000 customers and members. We have probably over 100 websites at this point, and many of our websites are in the network marketing field, but they also have tens of thousands of members as well, not just Infinity Downline. So here you have a company that has put something together for you with the knowledge and experience and really the pedigree of being in the position that we're in, you know, and that we've put together and the track record that we have. So we like to think that, hey, if, you know, most companies don't last but a few months or a few years. We've been here almost 12 years, so we like to think that we're doing something right and we have some integrity out there. We try to do things the right way, and to get to this point, it's not a terribly easy thing to do. But we've done it, and we're going as strong as ever, and we're here for you. We're here to give you a solid opportunity, and I mean, heck, I'm not going to put together a scam and risk my 12-year-old company. It's just not going to happen. So we feel that we have a super solid opportunity. True, the opportunity we have here is thinking outside the box. but really any major trend in the industry that started something off as a major trend started really from thinking outside the box and looking at things in a different perspective. And I'm going to paint this picture for you to give you the opportunity to maybe see the same thing as everybody else has, to really put together the pieces and come together with a beautiful picture. And hopefully you'll be able to do that. So grab yourself something to write with, jot down some notes, and as we go through here, you'll see that we have so many different sizzle points available for you as a member to be able to go out and spread the word about Infinity Downline in our sister company, Infinity 100. But here we're talking about Infinity Downline. So, so this is where you have a lot of different sizzle points to tell people. Usually when a company opens up, they have one or two major points that they try to hook onto and people try to, to tell people about. We have literally 5, 6, 7, 8 sizzle points that are legitimate points that you can really go out and tell people about. So let's get started. Now, I've always been an entrepreneur ever since I've been a little boy, ever since I can remember. In the early 80s, I was a sergeant in the Marine Corps, and the reason why I tell you that is because it's really been a big point in me doing my business, in that I was introduced to different points of delegation and being able to get things done, to be able to do multiple tasks at one time, to be able to go through brick walls to make things happen. And it was very important to me because at that time we learned electronics. I was into coding and decoding electronics at that point. And also we learned about the internet. And back then it was really a commercial, it wasn't a commercial viability, but it was something that we did in the military. And I was like, wow, this is really cool, sending data back and forth. And little did I know, just a short time after that, we're talking about some major stuff happening. So after I got out of the military, in 1990, I was introduced to network marketing. I had never heard of it before, but I was always looking for ways to be able to make money. And I went to a hotel meeting at that time, and I sat in the audience just like everybody else, and I was, kind of thinking, what the heck am I here for? And it was some kind of marketing opportunity. I had no idea. And they started talking about people telling people about something that they liked. Things that they liked, and they just wanted to tell people about them. And that word-of-mouth advertising would go from person to person, and it would maybe spread from somebody locally to somebody to a different state, to another state, to another state, to another country, and ricochet everywhere else. And ultimately, those people would buy products, and the company would say, well, if I didn't start that chain reaction, then the company would never be selling any of those products, so why shouldn't they give me a cut? And I thought about it there for a few moments, and I said, yeah, that really makes a lot of sense to me. And my life really changed at that point. I started thinking of business different ways. I started thinking about the possibility that an average person, and I thought myself was an average person at that point, to be able to generate an above average income, to be able to start it out on a very low budget, and to really for a few $100 at that point to get started, and to branch it out into an international business. And I guess I'm a living testimony that it works. I do very well financially, and I work like an animal to make it happen. I'm just that kind of person that has a passion for what I do. But it certainly works, and it certainly changed my life around. Now, when I started that business, I jumped into it and I said, okay, how am I going to promote my business? I started to build different tools and systems to be able to squeeze everything I could out of every day, to be able to get more people to see the business faster and do it cheaper than ever before. And over those number of years, I started to do that and develop all these different systems for myself. And I started to get asked to be doing trainings and webinars and so on for other people. So I started to do that, and I said, hey, you know what? I really like to do this. I like to be able to train and teach people and have other people be successful with what I'm doing. And I started Multiplex Systems in August of 1998. We're a legitimate New York State-based corporation, and we specialize in these tools. We develop our own tools as well as systems. We're a lead broker for that long as well, too. We've developed email broadcasting systems, traffic exchange systems, postcard programs, list scraping programs, phone broadcasting systems, and I could go on and on and on. So we have all these different tools covering different niche markets, and we've been able to develop quite a following over the last 10 to 12 years. So we started to think, okay, how can we get from point A to point B? And at that point, obviously, we didn't have as many customers as we had now, but we were thinking, okay, we want to get from point A to point B, and we're doing traditional advertising and pay-per-click and classified ads and all sorts of stuff like that. And we said, well, how can we get from point A to point B and be able to do other types of advertising to grow our company and really to get more people to see our products? That's essentially what we're trying to do as a company, is to get more people to see what we do. And we were brainstorming, and we thought, well, hey, we really believe in network marketing. And I started thinking of the day I found out about network marketing, about people telling people, and I said, I do that all the time. I mean, I go to the movies. I'm a movie buff. I love to go to the movies because I don't have time, and in 2 hours I'm in and out, and I love it. I tell people all the time about it, and I never get paid anything for it, but it happens, and God knows how much millions of dollars I've probably generated for the theaters, and they never give me anything for it. But it really is very, very powerful, the grassroots effect of networking. And we started thinking of, hey, we putting programs together. As a matter of fact, a little over 3 years ago, we put together a website, and we had a little bit of a push when we got started with the website, and we haven't touched it since. It's pure viral marketing, and we have 60,000 members. So it really does work, and we said, why don't we go into that direction? Why don't we put together something that everybody would be passionate about, that would have so many great things about it, that we can unleash it and let everybody tell people about it, because it would be the best thing out there. So we started thinking, okay, we've talked to a lot of people. We've had a lot of customers. We get a lot of feedback, positive and negative from people. We see companies come and go, and we really see what everything's going on, and we kind of have the pulse of what's happening in the industry, and we fed off that information to put this program together. And we said, well, why don't we put together a company, or a network marketing program, I guess is a better way to say it, and replace our advertising budget with that company. So if we're going to spend $20,000 over a period of time in advertising the traditional way, why not take that money and put it together to build a program, which is really the money we would have spent anyway in the advertising? So we said, makes a lot of sense to me. So we started putting it together. We started putting together a program. We put the servers together. We put the website together, the tracking script, the movies, the conference calls, all the website designs, everything for the program. And we said, okay, what else can we put in this program? What do people want? What are the biggest things that they want? And the first thing that always came up was, hey, how much money can I make? Which translates to really, what's the compensation plan? What's the payout? Well, ultimately, of course, you start out with 100% payout. I mean, that's the highest you could possibly get. And then you start whittling away at that from expenses and overhead and tracking systems and products and so on. Well, let me show you how that we were able to eliminate that whole process. Because, as I mentioned before, with our products in marketing, we always thought, okay, we want to automate everything as much as possible and squeeze everything we could out of it. So we said, why don't we move that into putting a program together? Automate everything possible so this way we can save as much money as possible and put it into the compensation plan. So the first thing that came out was, I want to be able to automate the product line. Now, most companies have a product-based program, which is, what I mean by product, I mean physical-based product, like a nutritional skincare or something like that. So that means that every person that comes in the program, whether it's 1, 10, 100, 1,000, or whatever, the company has to pay for the product, they have to package the product, they have to ship the product, they have to do the postage, everything, and they have to have the manpower to do that. So on average, usually it's about 30% of the cost of the overall program. So now you go from 100% to 70% payout right there, bam, right off the top. So we said we have to automate that whole process. So why not put a digital product together that still had great value to it, but when we put the program together, and once we have the product, we don't have to keep on paying for it over and over and over again. We just have it, it's there. So we put a product together that's educational based, and George mentioned it before, which was a product that can be able to teach people to expand their knowledge base in different niche markets, from Microsoft certified professionals teaching you how to use Microsoft products, Microsoft Word, Outlook, Express, PowerPoint, things like that, to be able to learn about eBay and Photoshop and search engine optimization, and those are just video markets. Then we have a whole